We're back to the Total Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment. Remember, go wearethechallenge.com, simplyg.com, and my website, totaltutor.net, for more information. And something about Twitter, how you're able to meet people on Twitter. And when I saw Caroline's profile, I thought she would be perfect to bring on the show. So I'm going to welcome celebrity Caroline Pearce. Caroline, thanks for calling.
Hi, Neil. My pleasure.
It's great that you're on the show tonight, and really wanted to talk about specifically a bunch of different things. Like, it's tonight in the UK, and it's afternoon here, but whenever it plays. But let's first of all go how you started your career, I guess, in athletics. When did you know that you were going to be an athlete and things like that? And we're going to go into all your different things, into even your hosting gigs and stuff you've done.
Yeah, so my background is really as an athlete. I competed for Great Britain in the heptathlon, which is the 7 track and field events: the hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200 metres, long jump, javelin, and 800 metres. So I did that for several years, and then joined the British bobsledding team and competed in the World Championships in bobsleigh in Canada in 2005. So I started as an athlete, but I've gone on to work as a sports presenter, fitness presenter, have my nutrition and physiology degrees as well, so my education, and I do a lot of writing, hosting, and producing sort of products in the fitness industry and health industry to help people to spread the message of fitness and well-being.
Well, that's fantastic, and that's one of the things I do as well, and I'll have to talk to you about that off air. But let's go specifically. Did you know all your life that you were going to be an athlete, like specifically when you were a child? Did you know you were very athletic?
I think I ran before I walked. So my parents thought, let's sort of put her into different sports. And I did everything. I did everything from ballet to gymnastics to horse riding. But I was quick, I was fast, and I sort of excelled at the multidisciplined events. So I always wanted to be an athlete. But I got injured after the World Bobsleigh Championships. I got injured and suddenly had to think, well, what else do I do? How do I use the skills and the knowledge I've had from my career to form a different career and change that identity slightly. So the sports presenting I do makes me feel connected to sport, to athletics. I think I can interview athletes with genuine interest and understanding of what they go through. And then again, the studying I've done and everything I learned from my athletic career, from, fueling for exercise, refueling, appropriate rest, stretching, physiotherapy, all those things have helped me with my fitness career and the writing and the advising that I do. So I always knew that I'd stay involved in fitness and health. And just lots of doors have opened, and I've pushed different avenues to make that as comprehensive and fun as it can be.
Well, I'm going to back up, and don't mind that, because I have so many things I can talk to. Like I said, you're going to have a monthly segment on the show. You're going to be my first international guest that is international, meaning international celebrity, because I've had other international guests. John Hicks we had on, and we I have some from other countries there in the U.S. as actors, but specifically wanted to talk about once, I guess, when you were competing for, did you ever make the Olympics? Is that a sport that was in the Olympics, the heptathlon?
The heptathlon is in the Olympics. It's a track and field discipline. No, I didn't make the Olympics. I did the Europeans, which is a big event for us here in Europe. I did that in 2004, but I got injured, as I said before. I really fulfilled my sports potential, and that's something that happens to athletes. And I have a knee injury that I have to manage day by day. So my dream was slightly cut short in terms of my own sport, but it opens different doors. And I think if you've got the mentality of an athlete, which is the discipline and working hard and really pushing towards your goals, I think you can really succeed at anything.
So let's think about specifically the whole process of recruiting you for bobsledding. Now that probably you'll have to ask yourself, was that the greatest decision I made? But again, we see in certain things, but I've heard about all the time, they find people who are sprinters and athletes and say, hey, what a perfect person for this bobsled. But were you at that time built right for bobsledding, would you say?
I was fast and powerful, and they do recruit a lot of athletes into bobsleigh because they're looking for people with those attributes. So I was sort of selected, if you like, to try out for the bobsleigh team, and I recorded really quick times, really quick push times, and within a month I found myself in Canada, in Calgary, hurtling down at over 80 miles an hour, 5 Gs of force, thinking, how did I end up here? I was on a running track about a month ago. But I had to get stronger and I had to get more powerful, but I was already cleaning and jerking way more than my own body weight at that time. And it's that kind of powerful, explosive strength that they look for. So, but I don't think I was actually big enough to go further as a bobsledder. You have to be a little bit bigger than I was. So I actually contemplated doing skeleton, where you go down on the tea tray, if you've heard of that one. But again, my injury took hold before I had a chance to do that.
Did you compete in the World Championships in bobsleigh?
Yeah, I was part of Team GB for the 2005 Winter World Championships. That was the one in Calgary, and the team got the silver medal, so I was part of that setup, and it was incredible. It was really incredible. We met a lot of the American bobsledders as well and know them really well, and it's a really good camaraderie, because when you've been part of athletics, you're on your own a lot, and then suddenly joining a team, and staying with the teams and, having to be part of that team with the sled, and, you were relying on each other. It was such a different and refreshing experience, and probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my sport.
So it was bittersweet, being injured, but having that great experience of doing it. But again, these things happen in our lives. They do. Exactly.
And it's, it's what you use that to. It's a shame that I still have damage to my knee, but it hasn't stopped me. I've gone on to do a lot of athletic pursuits, just not at the level I'd need to be at the top of my sport.
So let's talk about Gladiator. I guess specifically after that, you're like, I'm going to jump into that. Because you're very attractive. They thought, perfect. You're strong. So you did, even though you lost your strength in your knee, that didn't make you. I'm sure you still could do lots of athletics things. So how did they approach you for Gladiator?
Yeah, it was strange. My knee didn't affect me for Gladiators. I was put forward. They were kind of selecting a mixture of athletes, stunt women, gymnasts, bodybuilders, all sorts of people. And we had to go through. So I was contacted if I'd like to try out. And we had this audition process where thousands of us turned up and had applied to do all these different fitness tests. And they gradually whittled us down by putting half of us one side of the room, half of us the other side of the room, saying, you're going home. A bit like we have X Factor here in the UK. I think you have it there now as well. And, a bit like one of those shows where, you're judged and you're either told you're going to stay or you go. And then when I got past the first round, we had to do a lot of character testing. So they gave us some character ideas and we had to sort of do a bit of acting and show that we could play to the camera. And then it went from there. And then I got down to the final, I think it was six girls. And they created my name, Ice, based on the winter bobsled experience. So they kind of based it on my winter sports background and the look they wanted for me. They wanted this bleached white hair, sparkly costume, kind of like an Ice Maiden character.
I saw the picture. And it didn't look like you at all. Meaning it looked like you just looked completely different the way they made you up.
It was like becoming a different person every day, but it was so much fun.
Well, Caroline, I know all about that because I was a professional wrestler, and if you could see pictures of my days a long time ago, you'd see the same thing and say, oh my gosh. But
it was crazy. And I'm naturally a smiley, friendly person, and they just had to keep saying to me, you've got to be mean, you've got to kind of play this cool character. And I just kept saying to the contestants, well done, you did brilliant. And then they'd say, cut, start again, say something mean. So yeah, that was unusual. But you know what, being able to go to work every day and just play games, basically. Play games, swing on rings, climb walls, have fun, get dressed up. It was just like being a kid in a giant playground. It was so much fun.
So this Gladiators was just like the American Gladiators. It was British Gladiators. Were they planning on the same type of process? Was it about the same time that the American Gladiators came out? Well,
I was part of the revival of the show, so not the original Gladiators in the sort of 80s, 90s, right, but the most recent. And we followed exactly on from the American revival of the show. And if you look at our characters to your characters, you can pretty much see each one of us looks almost identical to one of your Gladiators. So they really kind of followed the same format, character looks, etc. But obviously adapted it to our UK audience. But yeah, it was exactly the same setup.
Did that make you, after you did that, say, I want to be an entertainer? I'm sure you've done some acting as well.
Well, I haven't done acting, but I've done presenting, so hosting, TV hosting and presenting. But yeah, it definitely gave me a taste for television, and it opened doors, meeting different producers, directors. And I thought, well, I want to express my more naturally friendly persona. As a presenter, I feel I can do that. I can be me, but you're putting on a performance, but I can be me and share my knowledge and get the best out of the people I interview. So it led me to think, this is what I want to do.
So a presenter is basically, I read your bio, it talked about your opportunity, the one time you did a major event presenting, but you're also a talk show host, or do you do some hosting as well?
I do a mixture of things, yeah. So a year ago, I presented The World's Strongest Man for our UK Channel 5. So that was a big gig for me. We were out in North Carolina for the main event, all the strongest guys in the world competing. And I was there with the microphone, interviewing them after the event, sort of finding out how they felt, what their plans were, who was their biggest rivals. I do hosting for fitness shows here in the UK as well. And I've done a few infomercials stateside, over your side of the pond, where as a fitness expert, I'll host the show. Again, I'll interview, I'll give the main links, etc. I've been involved in our Paralympics here in the UK. We had really successful summer games, and I've been doing some work with the CrossFit Games as well, which you're probably familiar with.
You're so busy, Caroline.
I love it though.
Same with me, and I enjoy it as well with all the different things. I own a tutoring consulting company, a radio network pretty much. I do about 8 to 9 hours of programming a week myself, and then also produce a bunch of different things, help run some radio stations, and also I'm part of the 90-day health and fitness challenge. So I have a lot of different I wear a bunch of different hats and also manage social media and branding. So I'm just like you, constantly busy, but that's why, this is a perfect time for us to talk. It's the middle of the
and it's so funny when people say to me, what do you do? My answer will sometimes vary depending on what I've done that week, because it can be so different. Sometimes I've been doing sports presenting, other times I've been doing fitness shows, or I've been writing. I've just finished writing my first book. And the book is called Better Body Workouts for Women. So it really looks at taking training to the next level, weight loss, fat loss, strength training, aerobic training, special populations, postnatal, and lots of workout guides. So that's going to release in the fall, and really looking forward to that. It's been 18 months worth of work.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and my fitness DVD comes out actually 3rd of June. It's released here in the UK, and then it will come to the US shortly afterwards. So it's been a really busy year, just working on my own projects as well as with other companies and other products that I'm an ambassador for.
So you're constantly doing that. What products are you promoting right now as well?
I work with a product called the Power Plate, which is vibration training. And I've worked with Power Plate now for about 8 years, because the technology, I think, is absolutely fantastic for strength training, for massage, for recovery. It's a great way to train. It accelerates your results. So, I'm part of the Performance Health Systems team, and we go to lots of events. I'm the spokesperson. I model for the product. I filming the fitness DVDs. And if you're out there and you haven't tried vibration training, have a go. Find a Power Plate center or club that's got a Power Plate in it, and give it a go. You can half your workout time and get absolutely fantastic results. Really, really good.
Well, you definitely have a lot of projects, so I know my listeners need to learn more information on you. Definitely stay on the line after we get off with the interview, so I can ask a few questions, and we'll stay in touch and have you back next month. But where can we find more information on you and learn more about you, Caroline?
Yeah, you can visit my website, which is www.carolinepearce.co.uk, or follow me on Twitter @Caroline Pearce. And I tweet lots of fitness advice and nutrition advice, and keep everyone posted on what I'm doing, and sort of reach out to people, and always happy to give some advice. So check out the website and my Twitter.
Well, Caroline, I think I could see your celebrity status is going up, and up. I see all these different things that are coming up, the book, the fitness DVD, and all the other promotions. I tell you, I think you're on the way, and the U.S. will find out more and more about you very, very soon, especially with this interview. So take care, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Talk soon.
Okay, you're listening to Education Celebrity Show, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment. We'll be back in just a moment.